Kat, and today I'm going to talk about the April releases I am most excited for, as well as the other books at the top of my TBR this month. So there are some pretty cool books coming out this month, and I actually had some trouble narrowing down my list of new releases to just 5, but I've done it. So without further ado, here are the 5 April releases that I personally am most looking forward to. First up, I have a book that came out on the 1st, and that is Illusion by Sherilyn Kenyon. And this is the 5th and final book in the Chronicles of Nyx series. I picked up the first 4 books super cheap, you know, bargain shopping for the win, but I just bought this one brand new full price because I had to complete my collection. The Chronicles of Nyx series is a young adult spin-off series from Sherilyn Kenyon's adult Dark Hunters series. I say series one more time. Series. I've heard great things about both series, and now that I have this one in its entirety, I think it's time for a marathon. I'm not sure I'll get to it this month because there are a lot of other books I want to read, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing that soon. Next up, I have the Booksplosion Book of the Month pick for April, and that is Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. I really loved the Hex Hall trilogy, and from what I've heard about this book, it's gonna be kind of similar in the fun, hilarious, awesome department. Rebel Belle is about a girl named Harper Price who is kind of this overachieving homecoming queen valedictorian type, but then she inherits these supernatural abilities that kind of turn her into a kick-ass warrior, but also give her a responsibility of protecting someone. And this someone that she is meant to protect with her life just so happens to be her arch nemesis. So yeah, this just sounds like a really fun and lighthearted paranormal read, and I'm super excited to get to it. We'll be doing our live show discussion on Saturday, May 3rd, so that is your read by date if you would like to attend. There's some more information in the description, as well as a link to our Goodreads group where we have our discussion boards and whatnot. Next up is a book that I am so thrilled to finally have my hands on, and that is Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. As many of you are aware, Daughter of Smoke and Bone is one of my favorite books of all time, so I am kind of freaking out a little bit that the 3rd and final book to that trilogy is finally here! I absolutely adore Laini Taylor's writing. I find it so lovely and impressive the way she strings words together to convey things. It's just, ooh, it's gorgeous what she does with words. But yeah, I will definitely be reading this very soon. In fact, the only thing stopping me from starting this book right now is the fact that, well, A, I'm filming a video, and B, I am actually still in the process of marathoning the first 2 books in this series, because you gotta marathon the first 2 before you get to the 3rd. That's how you get the full impact of the trilogy-ness. That's how it works. So yeah, I'm still reading Days of Blood and Starlight, but as soon as I finish this one, this is where it's at. This is where I'ma be at. All up in this. All up in it. Next up, I have Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I am a huge fan of the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, so I've really been wanting to read something else by her, and the premise to this book sounds super interesting. It's about a girl named Sam who disappears along with her best friend Cassie. But then, 4 days later, Sam reappears with no memory and no Cassie. So Sam is trying to piece her life back together and figure out what happened to Cassie, but someone out there doesn't want her to remember, and she might be at even more risk if her memory returns. So yeah, it sounds like a really intense and suspenseful mystery. I believe it's a standalone, and that is coming out on April 15th. And finally, I have In the Shadows, which is written by Kiersten White and illustrated by Jim DeBartolo. I really enjoy Kiersten White's books. I think I owned all of the ones she's published thus far, so naturally I gotta add this to my collection. I also really love Jim DeBartolo's illustrations. He illustrated Lips Touch by Laini Taylor. He's actually Laini Taylor's husband, so that's a very artistic family. Pretty! More pretty! Much pretty! Wow! But what has me most excited about this book is that it's not just pictures that kind of illustrate parts of the text. The pictures are part of the story, like it's told in an alternating style of pictures and words, which is something I haven't really encountered before, but it sounds epic. From what I can gather, it's the kind of book that's hard to describe, you just have to experience it, so I'm looking forward to experiencing it. It comes out on April 29th, so we do have to wait a little bit, but I will be very happy to finally get my hands on it. So those are the 5 April releases that I am most excited about, but there are some other books I'm going to be reading this month that are not new releases, so let's talk about those. There's actually only 3, so this should be pretty quick, especially since I already kind of mentioned 2 of them. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, which I actually already read, and Days of Blood and Starlight, which is what I'm currently reading. And then you know what happens after that. You know it's this. If you didn't know. If you missed that, like maybe you're not paying attention, it's this. I'm gonna be reading this. And then the last book I'm gonna be trying to finish in April is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I intended to read this in March, but then I only got through 3 books in March, so that was a big failure on my part. But I do still really want to read this sooner rather than later, so I'm making a point to read it in April, and hopefully that will happen. It is kind of intimidating because it's a very big book. It's almost 700 pages, so it will take me a while, but I am looking forward to getting to it. My April TBR isn't set in stone or anything, but these are the 5 books I am most likely going to be reading this month. So yeah, there's that little tidbit for ya. Place your bets now on how many of these you think I'm actually gonna get through. Prepare to lose your money. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video today, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you have a great night, and I will have another vlog up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! I keep doing this, I still do it, Who remembers this? Who remembers to live long and DFTBA? That's not how it goes. Without further ado, here are the 5 April... It's here! It's here! It's in my hands! It's a real book in my hands! Calm down.
At last, this book is in my life.
You guys, I have a really important question for you, okay? Can you be serious for a minute? Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Go away, cat. Okay, bye!